there are still ample amount of opportunities that exist in the tech space. Yesterday, I did that video and I showed how many tech sales roles that are out there, how many engineering roles that are out there, hundreds of thousands. And now you have
yes, sir,
hundreds of thousands, right? I mean, that's just opportunities for you all to get into this space. You have to commit to it, though. You have to want to get to it. You have to, execute on it. And I love the space that we're in too, Trey, because of the fact that, I'm really starting to get into that alternative education space because we recognize that college isn't for everybody, but also college is the slow route. When you have companies like Course Careers, like Leveled Careers, like, Master IT's channel, like, Caltech IT Support, like Professor Black Ops, who offer products and services that can get you all the knowledge that you need, whatever space that you want to get into, whether it's tech sales, whether it's development, whether it's web, development, front end, back end, DevOps, cybersecurity. These people can offer you ways that you can get into these spaces in a lot less time than what it takes to go to college. And the cost is minimal compared to you having to go to college, guys. So it's a beautiful space to be in. And you think about where the United States is at right now when it comes down to the labor force, right? Unemployment is low still, but also there's so much demand out there for people to work, which is the reason why when these layoffs are happening, people are getting these jobs. But also government is looking at how do we work more with private companies and public companies to eliminate the restriction of having a degree, because it shouldn't take you 4 years in order for you to be able to learn enough skills to do a job, right? So that space, the education space, is going to be interrupted when you have a gentleman like Trey, who's very smart, is able to make a career change in a matter of 2 months to where he's on target to make $500,000 a year in such a short amount of time. We should repeat that. We should look to try to reproduce that, right? And the skills that he's learning. I mean, once you get into the job, you're going to be exposed to more people. You're going to, get an opportunity to learn more, read more books, go do company training and so forth. It's going to open you up to even more, to learn more and to even be a better employee. But it's also just important for you guys to just execute. Go down a path. Find a path that you have an interest in. If it's tech sales, because this resonates with you, that's absolutely. If it's cybersecurity, because it resonates with you, take the path. Execute. Just get it done. Hold yourself accountable. If you're married, share that experience with your wife so that she can hold you accountable as well, because that's the last person you want to disappoint. Last person I want to disappoint is Miss Wade, man. If I say to Miss Wade, I'm going to do something, I don't do something, boy, that's a big disappointment. Maybe it's if it's taking the trash out, maybe not so much, but if it's something else, it's a disappointment, right? So having an accountability partner will help you execute the things that you want to execute as well, too. So, guys, I know I was talking a lot, and I knew that was going to be the case when I chop it up with Trey, man. He's a wonderful individual. Trey, you got anything else for the audience, man, or should I stick it over to the questions, man, just in case the chat has questions? What do you have, man? You got anything else?
Oh, I mean, I guess just right before, just to piggyback on what you said, man. A lot of people, I hope, and that's the reason why we're making this stuff and really getting the word out. You have to understand that it's all about collapsing time frames. And what these boot camps that Antoine is talking about, that's exactly what they're doing. They're collapsing those time frames of, hey, 4-year degree, that takes 4 years, right? Okay, you're talking about something that you can get done in months. Or however long it takes you, right? 3 months, 4 months. Nonetheless, you got the information, the necessary information. and that you can get to then go into that space instead of expanding that out, right? Spacing all that stuff out, all the information you get in college. Hey, there's nothing wrong with college if the space that you're going into requires it. That, hey, I'm sorry, but I do not want a doctor operating on me that has not had put those years in. I don't want that neurosurgeon, working on somebody that I love that hasn't put those years in. But I mean, a space like this, a space in cybersecurity, tech sales, things like that. Man, if I can get the skills in a few months, I got the skills. Now all I need is the opportunity. Well, guess what? Those boot camps also help you with the opportunity or setting yourself up to be in the best space to have that opportunity. And then from there, it's just all about continuing the growth. One thing that I remember hearing people say coming up, after we maybe graduated school or maybe they might have graduated college. Oh man, I don't want to ever see another book in my life. I'm done with school. Listen, it doesn't stop. Learning is you should be continuing to learn, because if you're not, you are going backwards. You don't just, hey, I've learned all I needed to learn and that's it. It never stops. Continue to be a continual learner. And, these boot camps that Antoine is talking about, that can be that next learning space, but it can set you up for, it's unlimited. I will say this, and then I'm turning it back over to Antoine. Prior to late last year, I did not know that you could make those type of numbers. The numbers that Antoine makes, those numbers that he was telling y'all earlier, I love when he talks this stuff because it just lights me up, and I know that that's what's possible. But those numbers were his W-2, y'all. That was on the job. I didn't know those numbers existed on a W-2. I thought the only way to make that type of money was in a business that I created and really tried to work up. So, the fact that those numbers are real and you can get it in this space, it might not be real in the space you're in now, but there is a space that he's letting us know about right now that those numbers are really real. And there's really people out here making that stuff every day that you don't have to be famous. I don't care about the fame. Show me the money. So anyways, we'll take that back over to Antoine. My bad.
Oh man, I love these conversations, Trey. I love it. I love it. Guys, if you have any questions, leave them in the chat, guys. I love these conversations because it gives us an opportunity to just be passionate about what we're doing, right? Like Trey said, right? I shared numbers with you guys from just the W-2, right? And then, the numbers I shared with wanting to make an extra $300 a month and so forth. I mean, that's just profits into my account that I can actually spend, right? The $900 a day. That's not talking about revenues and stuff like that. And that's outside of the W-2, right? Put it like this, right? I didn't know that you could make $1 million a year and how to go about doing it. And it was tech sales that really opened that up for me. It was one gentleman who worked for the company that I worked for. In 1 year, he just absolutely doubled his earnings. And he probably hit more than our CEO was making at that point in time because we were a private company. But the guy made over $1 million. And I was like, damn, he made over $1 million. Like, how in the world could I put myself in a position like that? Which is another reason I went into tech sales. And then, as Trey mentioned, you get there and you see how things operate, and then you say, okay, well, I can do this also outside of my W-2. These are the things that I can actually do in order for me to set myself up for the future and my family up for the future. And then you execute on that. And then that's how you end up in a situation where you can do those kind of things, right? I prided myself, guys, on me and Miss Wade, because we love to go out. We love to eat out, which is probably why I've gained a lot more weight than I should have. But you know,
Me too.
it's we love to go out. We love to go out in the city. We like to you know, stimulate the economy. And I prided myself on being able to, if we wanted to, spend $100 a day, which is $3,100 a month, on just the whatever we want to do. It could be just going to the park, the vineyard, or you know, buy cases of wine, or just take some folks out or something like that. I prided myself on being able to do that. What's up, Ladder Climbers? This is Antoine Wade. I wanted to interrupt this video to talk to you guys about Course Careers. Course Careers is the place that you guys need to go if you have a high interest into tech sales. They will help you gain the skills that you need so that you can enter the tech sales world to make a whole bunch of money. Tech sales salaries early on is about $60,000, guys. That's a good salary. And with OTEs, you can make anywhere from $85,000 to $90,000. If you have an interest in tech sales, check out Course Careers, link in the description. And don't forget to use Antoine50 so that you can get a $50 discount off of Course Careers. See you guys in tech sales. When I was able to hit that, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And we can increase that budget. We live a modest life. I don't, you know, do very many things besides to travel and do things when I want to. But you don't have to be a celebrity to make these sort of numbers. You don't have to, you know, be a person that is a big YouTuber to make these kind of numbers. You can do it in your career, and you can do it, you know, by just having a little bit of a side hustle. And something that I'll get to that Trey said is, I wake up every single day knowing down my head. So when I go into the office, I don't have to feel like I'm walking on eggshells anymore because I have to do it. And if the rug is pulled from under me, I'll be in a really bad place. That's not the life that I don't have those worries anymore, guys. I don't have those worries anymore, which I think allows me to perform even better, clear mind, not having to deal with that extra stress, right? Because many of you guys are in a situation when you're making $60,000 a year, and if your rug gets pulled because you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're going to be in a bad situation. You're going to have to, after the layoff happens, you're going to have to put the focus down on finding another job. And your mental state isn't even fixed, because the reality of it is when you get laid off, no matter whether you think it was going to happen or not, it's almost like as if you're dealing with a breakup, right? A bad breakup.
Yeah.
And it puts you in a bad mental state, right? So that's why career coaches like myself, when we talk about layoffs, I share, guys, you got to wait 3 or 4 days just to get your mental state right, accept that it's happened to you. And then once you're able to get past that, you know, put in the work to overcome what has happened. But what I would say is this, is if it does happen, because it will happen to the majority of us, right? If you are in a position to where you don't have to jump right away and react, that's a really good position to be in. Trey mentioned Trent, who was on the show the other day, was laid off. Well, again, sitting at a beach, thinking about what he wants to do next. Does he need to jump into the workforce right away? Nope. Does he need to take that job next week because he doesn't have the money to pay for that car or that house or that, you know, his kids' tuition? Nope. Why? Because he set himself up to be able to make additional income outside of that W-2 job. It's almost like insurance. It's protection.
Yeah.
Right? So, guys, think about that. Think about that, guys. And act on it. Act on it, more importantly. Okay. Let me see. We got some super chats that came in. I want to make sure that I acknowledge those first. Our brother Chef Capone says, morning, Antoine, Trey, and the BH family. Sorry I'm late. I just got back from the gym. Health is wealth. Yes, sir. Thank you for shouting out my LinkedIn post last night. I just now signed up to the Patreon, ready to level up day one. Welcome to the Patreon, my man, Chef Capone, Mr. Williams. And congratulations. Our brother, Chef Capone, just landed a job as an SDR. 4 months. Okay. Was working as a mechanical assistant before. Getting to the money, but now he's getting to a new kind of money and the opportunities that are going to be available for him in his career. Doesn't have to physically be there at a location anymore every single day, 9 hours a day, working 10, 12 hours, having to come home tired. He can work at the comfort of his home now. He has an opportunity to make more money now. He has an opportunity to see a line of sight on career growth to get to $200,000 a year if he continues to level up. Major change. Congratulations, Brother John. Our brother Scott, love this conversation. I have so much love and respect for you both. Thank you both for the inspiration and guidance. I love our community, nothing but the Black Heights community. I appreciate you, Brother Scott. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. Aston James, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Powerhouse conversation this morning, gentlemen. Appreciate it. I absolutely appreciate it, Brother Aston. Thank you so much for your continued support as always, my man. Guys, let me see if there's any other questions in here. Ant Johnson, I'm a database developer and was let go February 12th. What's the average time between employment looking like? I would say this, Ant Johnson, right? It really depends on you. As a career coach, it really depends on you, how much effort you put into finding a new role, right? If you're the type of person that are putting in 10 applications plus a day, it's not going to take you very long, maybe 2 months, right? It also depends on the type of role that you're in, right? And how much you're networking and how much you're putting yourself out there and what channels that you're using. But what I've seen in the folks that has been impacted by this layoffs as of recent, they're able to get jobs within 2 to 3 months. And that's a max, right? You got to put in the work though, Ant Johnson. You got to put in the work. And I would also say this, if you need some help, you need some guidance with that, check us out on the Black Heights channel. Go ahead and book a session, a consultation. All right, let's see who else is in here. Andre Oliver, Bourbon Birthdays. Yes, our brother Andre is in the house. I love it. I love it. Okay, guys, I think that's it for us. Trey, we went a little bit over, but I think it was the perfect time. We're at 1 hour and 16 minutes now, my man. And I appreciate you, man, for coming on the channel and having this conversation with the audience. Fantastic discussion. I know it was going to be raw and authentic. And guys, hopefully you have some nuggets that you've taken away from this conversation today. And until next time, guys, peace.